Hello everybody. In the current affairs this week, the markets in India were quite range bound. The commodity markets globally were also quite range bound, and the US market was also without any significant news and quite range bound. But the piece of news which I wanted to discuss with you and which I found to be very interesting was that normally we believe that large cap companies can't multiply their revenues or cannot significantly increase their revenues in a short period of time, nor their profitability. But this week we saw a case of a big time exception. Nvidia, a US giant, declared its results. In the Q3 of 2023, the revenues of Nvidia were $6.05 billion. The quarterly revenues were $6.05 billion, and in the similar quarter, which is Q3 2024, the revenues of Nvidia were $18.12 billion. So it was a huge increase of revenues in this 1 year period of time. The major contributor for Nvidia's such multifold increase in revenue was its incomes or revenues from data center. The data center services are used by artificial intelligence, simulation and modeling, and this was a major contributor for their increase in revenues. So the point we need to understand is that if there is a company which can get into newer areas, which can transform itself, may it be small or big, yes, the revenues can multiply even within a short period of time. Then I came across through a piece of article and news this week which talked about the way the entire trajectory of the markets are going to be in another 6-8 months time. The prediction which was made in that article was that the US interest rates will now be plateauing, and after a couple of months the first rate cut would come. Thereafter, before the US elections which are scheduled in the month of July 2024, another rate cut would be there. So the stock markets in US will start appreciating it, and naturally there would be a rally in the US stock market. Interest rates would start declining, and because of the interest rate declining, the FII and FDI investments, which were earlier spread across all the emerging markets from the US, would start once again flowing to the emerging markets. With the flow of investments in the emerging markets through the FII and FDI route, the stock markets of all the emerging markets would start performing quite well, and the exchange rate vis-a-vis the US dollar of all emerging market currencies would appreciate. So the emerging market currencies would get a little stronger in another 6-8 months time, and maybe it is for that reason that the forward rate of US dollar 1 year forward of US dollar vis-a-vis the Indian rupee is just 84 rupees, which is more or less similar to what is prevailing as of now. So this is the way the next 6 to 8 months global economic cycle is expected to move. Then one thing which came across, which spoke a lot about the way the Indian consumer and especially the retail consumer is behaving, is about the record high credit card spendings. The credit card spendings in the month of October in India were to the tune of 1.78 lakh crores of rupees. This is an increase of 25.35% from the earlier month's spending of 1.48 lakh crore rupees. So it was a 25.35% appreciation in just 1 month, and out of which 1.20 lakh crores were on account of e-commerce transactions. So this statistics speaks a lot about the way the Indian consumer is behaving and the way the Indian economy is behaving. Thank you.